to another episode of Adulting with Joyce Spring. And today we make an interview happen that I honestly have been wanting to do for many, many months, if not years. I've been following this girl and her career. I mean, I think the entire Philippines probably 80% of the world has also. And I've been also such a fan of the creativity, aesthetic, and empowerment that she's been showing everyone by just being her authentic self. I'm so excited to have you here, Nadine Lustre, everybody.
Hey.
Hey, girl.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for making time. I know that
No worries.
it's a busy, crazy time of our lives. And I know that you
Yeah.
also were traveling, right?
Yeah. I was gone for I think a month. Just gonna trip to France.
You
It's
went,
been a while.
yeah, you went all over France, nowhere else.
It's mainly how do I say it, a winter trip just because
Ah,
you go to like different places during the summer or the spring, and then you go to like another like different sets of places naman during the winter. So it's more of a ski trip, like the Alps. So the trip was more on that.
mhm. Are you a sporty type? Do you like sports?
I wouldn't say I'm a sporty type. I would say I'm quite active.
Mm.
But not really with sports. Yeah.
Mm.
But I did enjoy skiing though. I did enjoy skiing.
Right, but skiing is
Yeah.
kind of it tethers between that line of enjoyment and pure
Yeah.
horrifying fear. Where you-
Extreme sports, you
yeah,
know?
where you're just
Yeah.
enjoying it one moment and you're like, I'm for sure gonna die in the
Yeah.
next second.
It's really scary just because you do it, you're on top of a mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Diba? So when you start skiing on those slopes, um there are times na you have to go down and it's really steep and you see the end of the mountain. So that really scares you. Kasi it's like, oh shoot, what if I make a mistake and you just start like skiing down that slope and
Mm-hmm.
you're not able to stop. So it was really scary. And I'm afraid of heights too. So
But you did
I
it,
cried a bunch of times, but I didn't.
Isn't that entirely adulting? You cry a bunch of times, but you do it anyway. Parang yun yun eh.
Exactly. I think that's my life on a daily.
I think all of
I have my
us
moments
girls.
and then I'm like, okay, let's go. We got this.
That's all of us. That's really all
Behind
of
the
us.
scenes. Yeah.
Yeah. But okay, so I want to start off from the very beginning. I want to circle back from the very beginning. And when we were doing research for this interview, I was like, so when did Nadine start with showbiz? And it varies depending on the source. Um,
Yeah.
some people say it's 9 years old. Some people say 8 years old. I want to know, how old were you when you started? Because you were very young when you started in showbiz, right? Tell me about that.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know this, but I started when I was, I think, 7 or 8 years old, and it
Mm.
was a kids what do you call it, variety show on Channel 9 back in the day. It was RPN 9
Mm.
pa. So yeah, that's how I really started. Um, I would just at first I would just be joining, a bunch of other kids, and sometimes we'd just be sitting there or doing activities,
Mhm.
and then eventually, the director noticed me and got me as a host for the show. So I would be hosting, I would be singing. I'd be going to different places around the Philippines and doing like reporting and stuff, just going around the area and seeing what's cool to do,
Mhm.
you know so it really started with that.
You, I mean, okay, we've only, I think this is the first proper conversation we've ever had, but you strike me as someone who's not exactly extroverted. Am I wrong in saying that? I feel like you're
I'm
kind
not.
of
Oh, those are my
ambivert.
dogs. Sorry. What is an ambivert?
It's a
I
cross
only know
between.
extrovert. Okay. I'm probably, every time I have conversations with people about myself, I can't really tell if I'm an extrovert or an introvert because I do love to converse with people. I do love meeting new people, but
Mm.
I do have these moments where I'm like, I don't want like I don't want to talk to anyone. I just want to be in a corner, or I just want to be at home. So yeah,
Mm.
probably I am an ambivert. Thanks
Yeah.
for thanks for telling me that, because I didn't know that word existed, to be honest. It was just either extrovert or introvert. So now I know.
Yeah, an ambivert. I think an ambivert is
Yeah.
exactly what you described, wherein you enjoy
Yeah.
meeting new people, having conversations. But there are
Yeah.
also times where you feel depleted when you do that, and you just want to
Exactly.
recharge by being on your own.
Yeah.
And I ask that
That's
because I feel like a lot of people assume that when you're a celebrity and when you do all of these things that you're an extroverted person already. But yun nga,
yeah.
you're ambiverted. I feel like. But what has been, you've gone through so many things, as you mentioned, you started at 8 years old. um I when I was doing the research, I even saw, we even read that you did, like, you were seen on Disney Channel and things like that.
Yeah, I did a lot.
Yeah, you
I
did a
did a
lot.
lot of things when I was younger. I did do Disney Channel when I was 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when I was 12, it was for the opening of Hong Kong Disneyland. So
Mm.
for the whole Asia, Disney Channel looked for, parang it's like our search for reporters
Mm-hmm.
for the opening of Hong Kong Disneyland, and I was lucky enough to be part of it. Kasi different Southeast Asian countries yan eh, and then I
Mm-hmm.
was picked for Philippines. So yeah, I got the experience, like the opening, and it was really grand. It
Mm-hmm.
was such an amazing experience for me, especially for someone who is a total Disney girl, like
Mm-hmm.
I grew up watching Disney like all the way. So it was a dream come true.
Mm-hmm. And you've been
Yeah.
doing so many other things, creative things, from acting to singing to collaborations
Yeah.
with brands. I wonder if there's, like, I know it's hard to make it concise into one lesson, but what's one lesson that you feel like you've gotten out of this long career of just exploring your creativity and being in front of audiences, the camera, and shifting all of those things?
I think one of the biggest lessons that I've learned is to be okay with the mistakes that you make,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm such a, like, I'm super particular. Like, I'm also, you could say that, like, perfectionist as well.
Mm-hmm.
And like in all of those years of me just being in the industry, there's so many things na, or events na, but after a performance, or after a project movie per se, or a TV series, I always have regrets. The parang I judge myself and say na, why did I do this? Why did I do that? I should have done this. I should have done that. And I've always been so harsh on myself. So now that I'm older, and now that I have more experience and I know more, I'm kinder to myself. It's always um every time I do something and I'm not super happy about it, I say, or I make mistakes, I just say it's okay. At least next time you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's more that.
How did you arrive at that, though? Because
Please subscribe to my YouTube channel.